All right. We
Okay,
are
everybody can
here.
hear me okay?
We
Okay,
are
everybody can
here.
hear me okay? Okay, everybody can hear me okay? So that's a
Yep.
massive
Audio's
sort
good.
of feedback that I'm getting back on. Why is that?
Uh,
Hmm. I wonder by putting it on my phone, but I have my
unless you
Bluetooth off on the phone.
unless you're hearing it also there. I don't
It
know.
should be. But now that went away.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, I'm not
Interesting.
getting the loop, so we're good. All right, so we are back. Um, some small updates to the step one code. I have a bunch of data in the database. I'm not using a couple of these changes, which is fine because I wanted to really get back to step two and clean that code up. But let me show you the two. So you got to switch me over there, right? Or I got
Yep.
to do this.
I will switch you over, and we're there.
Okay, sweet. So a couple of changes here that I made with Florin. Again, well, I took the frames folder and I put it in a variable so I could have some comparisons again.
Okay.
Frames is what I have in Mongo right now. This frames 2 is what I've been playing with.
Got it.
But we played with two ideas. I'm going to run this frames 2 again anyway, just to see some speed. I'm going to put it in a different database. But we did two things which I think are interesting. One, we changed the FFmpeg call that generates the keyframe files, and we did a couple things to it.
Oh.
We set
Okay.
a scale for the images, 1024 by 1024. And the idea behind doing that was basically what you see here. So frames 2 is the new code. Look at the size of the image.
Yeah, much smaller.
Yeah. And so I
Much
think
smaller.
Olama was crashing because the images just got too big at some point. And so my guess was that if I could reduce the size of the image, right? And right now we're saying 1024 by 1024, that it probably wouldn't make things worse, right? Like you could see the pixelation here, but I want to run this because I haven't run this yet. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
So it's you're changing the resolution of the image rather than like cropping it to a certain
I didn't want to
size.
crop it because, we're playing with this video, but I want to use it for other videos. So if I start
Yeah.
cropping things, a crop for this video wouldn't make sense as a crop for another video.
Yeah.
So I didn't
Makes
want to
sense.
do that. So I'm going to see if by changing it to 1024 by 1024, we still get the code. I haven't run it yet. Now, another thing we did in this call, and I don't remember what the parameter is, but FFmpeg is able to compare the keyframes and keep the ones that are the most unique.
Oh, okay. It just does it for free. Nice.
Somehow, I don't know if this is the command for it. I haven't been able to completely talk to um, skip frame, no key. I guess that is only keyframes, but we added something in here. So if you notice, we only kept these now
Yeah.
as opposed to every 60, right?
Yeah,
So
very different.
yeah, and it doesn't run that much slower. So that's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's less code that sort of
So
you have
there's
to
less
put in there.
files there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm still going to use our strategy of first, last, and middle,
Okay.
but I think now we'll get some better quality out of it because at least we know that we've got at some level the most unique keyframes.
Yeah,
So,
makes sense.
Florin's like, I don't know what he does to figure out all these parameters. This FFmpeg is like
That is
insanely powerful, man.
wow. Yeah.
Okay. So I haven't really run this. I just wanted to run it for a little bit just to look like get back to at least 8 and get a better
Got it.
sense if it's actually working. Um, and if it is, then I'll stop it. I'll run this stuff later. So the regular Mongo databases with this. But I did run a whole bunch of stuff a couple of days ago. So we have data to play with, right? Enough to
Okay.
play with. Also, with the images being smaller, I'm praying that we can run with these settings here
Okay.
and try to do 3 in at the same time. I haven't
Yeah.
tried this either. I don't know if I have to, I don't know if this has to be 3 or not. I know I want this at least 2 because we do use, at least in this program, 2 different models, right?
Mm-hmm.
We use these 2 models and I want them at least loaded. But okay, so I'm gonna start Mongo and we have to figure out what's going on with Postgres in Compose because Postgres wants to download every time. You see that?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know why, dude. I had to comment that out on the plane yesterday. Thank God Mongo doesn't care, but I've never seen this before, so I don't know why that is. Remember, I can't see questions if somebody's asking questions, so you gotta keep your eye on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I have it here.
All right, I'm gonna do the Olama up with our 3-3, and now when I run this, we're gonna run this using frames 2 and um, example 12-T2 because I just don't want to destroy example 12's data right now
Yeah.
from a database perspective. All right. So make example 12 step 1. So hopefully this doesn't blow up because that's the first problem, right? If I can run 3 of these in parallel, even if they take um, 40 seconds, let's say 45 seconds, now that they're smaller, at least it's 45 seconds per chunk as opposed to 45 times 3, right? And then
Yeah.
to do the Ardan stuff, I might just rent a machine for like a week, and run all this stuff on a machine. But like you can see, right, that's like 30, almost 40 seconds, but it hasn't blown up, which is good. So that was like almost a minute, but it was all 3.
That seemed pretty
And
fast though, from compared to like when we did it the
that's
other
because we
day.
could only do 2 at a time.
Yeah.
And then we had to wait another 40 seconds, right? So
Yeah.
at least it's all done in 50 seconds. You can do still 1 a minute, I think is too, just crashed, bro.
Oh.
Oh, man, that sucks. See, now if I look at 0, 1, actually, if I look at 0, 1 on frames 2, and I look at 540, how big is that? Yeah, you see, that's still pretty
That's still
large,
really
right?
big. Yeah.
I mean, really big for us to be able to run it locally. Like nobody would say that that's big, but um, oh, look at this. We chose 540 twice. Oh, we have a little bug there because we only had 2 in this case. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
We got to fix that little bug. But how cool is that, though, that there were only 2? Um, so that meant that FFmpeg did a really good job here. But we got to fix that little buggy bug. They should only had to run 2 there. But at the same time, this was 1024 by 576, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we look at the quality, you can see it's starting to sort of get a little fuzzy, right?
Yeah. Um
But but what if we went even smaller?
that's yeah, because at the end of the day, it's the machine that will be reading it, not
Yeah, it
necessarily
still
like
might be
us.
enough. Okay, let's do the following. Um, I want to run this one again. We never got it into the database, so that's good. I'm going to delete that from here. I'm going to change this to be, can we do 512? By 512. Go a little smaller. Now, where is the code that selected? Oh, that's interesting, right? We
Oh, because
always
there was no.
assumed,
Yeah.
yeah, so we took 0. We had a length of 2, so we took 1, and then we took, oh, yeah. So there is a chance that we only have 0 or 1 file now, right?
There
Like,
is.
I mean, not 0, but 1, 2, or 3. So we could just sort of do this the really obvious way, right? I'm going to assume there's never a 0, but we could have that. It's funny how it just did that, right? Could have that.
And then
I mean,
3 would be the normal.
well,
Well,
this we need to do for this, right? Like, we don't want to lose that there.
yeah.
And then this has to be first, last, and our middle. Just say length. I figured it would work right there. Why can't I do? I thought I could do that. See, here's me not. Why can't I do that? Expected switch, round assignment. I thought I could do an assignment on, case 3. Well, actually, it's kind of
You
silly,
have
isn't
to
it?
add semicolon
I'll just do it this way.
to the end of it. Semicolon I to
Yeah, no, I don't.
something.
I have to look that up. I don't know why. I thought I could do an assignment there. And well, yeah, I don't know. Okay, there's no reason to get stuck on that. I'll have to look at it later. But I always thought I could. Oh, you have to do it that way. I see. Huh. You know, it must have been forever since I did something like this.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't really seen that
No, I
too.
mean, it kind of makes sense. Oh, now we need keyframes here. For our keyframe slice of keyframe. And I don't want to do a return here. I want to do an assignment. So get rid of you and you and you. Okay. So that would solve that problem, right?
Yep.
But the answer should never be 0, which means we don't have any keyframes. So I would say that the default would be an error. Something like unsupported number of keyframes. It would be like, oh no, this is really bad code, dude. Shit. This is the default
That's the
case.
default, yeah.
Damn it. And this, we should have kept 0, right?
If it's 0, then that's basically your, yeah,
I wonder if it's smart
something
enough.
went wrong.
Yeah, I love when it's smart enough to do shit like that. And that's like really nice, easy code to read, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you might do, I just like how compact it is, you know? But the only other thing you might do is sort of this.
Yeah, so it's all within, yeah,
That way you just sort of
that's nice.
see it. It gets a little longer. And normally I'd put a line space between the cases, but there are times where I feel like it's not adding better readability. You know, like a lot of times I'll do this because I feel like it makes the cases a little easier to read, right?
Yeah,
Actually,
I
I feel
like
like
that.
it is easier to read too. But now that block got pretty long, so you start playing that game around, is it too long or, but I think that's pretty good. So that will
Yeah.
solve the other problem, right? Okay, let's run this again and see what this image looks like um, for, oh, for that too. Okay, so I definitely did something wrong here. Did I lose the network? No. Oh, I didn't
There's something
restart
that,
Llama.
yeah.
Yeah, because it crashed, remember? I should write a little piece of code that just does an Llama command that validates that it's running, you know?
Yeah, there we go. There's
Okay, let's take a look at what those images look like now. Oh, dude, that's going to be interesting.
now it changed the size a lot.
It did, yeah, no, I mean, it changed the size before too, but um, I don't know if I have the L commands here. Hold on.
Let's see.
I want to see this. Um, 13K. Remember it was like 64K before? Oh, wait, that
Yeah.
was the wrong
No,
one. I needed to
okay.
look at
Yeah, it's
one.
one. It's one.
It's 23K now. But, dude,
But as long as the machine can read it, that's what
around,
matters.
okay, so it gave us the code for, which one was that code for? Let me see. 60.
I think it's that one,
We
yeah,
got
60.
60. Now, why didn't we get code for, oh, okay,
Mm,
so I don't want to do this anymore, right?
because we
I
already
don't think
have
because
FFmpeg.
we're getting it from FFmpeg,
Hmm.
right? So let me kill this for a minute. But this is awesome because we're still getting the code, right? Even though the image is small. And we don't need to do the, where's that code? Remove duplicates. We don't need to do this anymore, which is going to save a bunch of time, right? Because that was just more calls that we had to make. Now that might mean that we're not using, what happens if I get rid of this? Are we using it? FFmpeg may have just saved us a ton of
Yeah, a lot.
problems. Let me just see some. Oh no, we're still using it for the final inserting, sorry. Okay, but we don't need the remove duplicate. Okay, but we don't need a similarity threshold anymore. Okay, but remember we got to take all that content and do a text embedding at the very end. We still have to do this. So the bottom line is we're going to run this again, and then we're going to look at how fast that took, okay? Let's run it again. I was also running it for 3 at a time, right? So this time it's going to do 3. So now we've got 3 frames. We're choosing 600. We chose 801. And I'm imagining that we chose 17, 18. So we're choosing
Solid
these 3.
choices.
I know, bro. How beautiful is that?
Yeah, solid
Right?
choices.
Because that's the one in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't have all of them. I mean, I just can't have all of them. But we could have 3 of them. Okay, let's see. So
Seems
now
like
we've
pretty
got
good.
this code. Dude, this is badass. How long did that take though? It took 100 and put token to not mark. I don't know what that means. It just
Oh,
crashed. That just crashed. That's the problem.
why is it crashing so late? Like, is it?
I think it's running out of memory, bro. I honestly think it's running out of memory at some point.
Context
So like
caching.
that's 19, 17, 13. I mean, these are smaller now, but I think they're just, I think it's running out of memory. You know, I don't get this when I was running 2. And I got a machine with a decent amount of memory on it, you know. So,
I
but we were
just
getting, it was coming in within at least a better time.
I just feel like you have. I mean, how many gigs of RAM does your machine have? Like 128 or something?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a
I
lot
know,
for
but
it to be.
remember, Olama comes up using like 96. So I don't know. Like when we're not in the show, I try to study some of these settings. You know, where I'm like, well, I only need 2 models loaded technically. If you're going to let me do 3 in a row, I mean, and we're only touching 2 models, so it should only load those models once. I don't want to change the context length, even though, like, in fact, now I'm not even sure how many tokens this ends up being, right? We
Yeah.
should we should take this and check something with OpenAI at least, because that's the tokens, right, for that particular thing. Tokenizer tool. See, so that's only like 1,000 tokens, right?
Like, yeah.
So something that Florin tells me sometimes, and I don't fully understand it, is he always wants to sort of lower this number as if the model server has to like allocate a bunch of memory for it, right?
Mm, okay.
But I don't, I don't know how much truth there is in that. And 2, I like that number, especially when we're running the chat app, you know?
Mm, yeah.
But like, if I do this and I lower that, right? I bring that back up and we run this again. You see here it says total 96. Where is it? Anyway, before it started moving, it said total 96.
Oh, I see it. Total 128, free 100.
I mean, it's
Oh,
still a shitload of memory, bro, right?
like it's still a
And
lot. Yeah.
and this model, hmm, and this
I just
model,
I just feel like you're not hitting that.
that model's pretty
Mm,
big, right? It's 18. That's why
yeah,
Florin
18
keeps
gigs is.
beating me up. He wants to play with some other models, but that model is giving me such great accuracy that I'm like really hesitant to change it out. Though for the classroom, maybe it's too big for people, you know?
Yeah, like I don't think I can run that model. Oh,
Whoa, what just blew up
oh,
there? So this one was good. We got really nice code, right?
oh.
Oh, that's weird right there.
Yeah,
Take a
something
look at
weird happened there.
1260 and 17. 1260. Oh, that's weird, bro. Output chunk 4. 12. Ah, that's why.
Oh,
We ended up getting that. So, I mean, that's fair. That was hovering over it, right? And there's nothing you can do about that. That is what it is. But that was fine. But what happened here? This is almost like FFmpeg
yeah. Error while
died.
opening encoder.
This one I've never seen. Maybe this one we couldn't go to 512. Ah, interesting. So it's almost as if one of the parameters now, okay, fine. Super interesting, right? Um, what is the next number up? 768,
Mm, something like that.
right? 512 plus 128, something like that. 640. Let's
640.
try 640. 640 might make more sense anyway. Gets a little bigger, but wow.
It's on that.
It's on this video here,
I would almost
whatever
put that
this,
error into AMP and see what it, if it can give you an answer.
something to do with this video.
Looks
I know,
normal.
so I'm gonna guess we should use 640 anyway, but I'm gonna guess even making that change isn't gonna matter.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, okay.
No.
So I'm gonna keep it to 640 though. So what we might have to do right now in this case to get sort of by this one is this is failing, right? Create keyframe files. Um, this is process chunk, and process chunk is in this salute. So maybe instead of returning an error, we'll log the error.
Log the error and continue past it. Is that what you're thinking?
And yeah, just continue past it. And then we can get back to that, why that one is sort of dead, right? Man, two of these sort of blew up. But this is something I can work with Lauren on.
So those two blow up for some reason,
Bit
and
rate,
then
I don't think it's a height or rate thing. I think it's bit rate maybe. Oh, now, dude, this is insane, bro. Okay, so essentially, I'm trying to speed this. Oh, what's going on?
still work.
Oh, now that this died, it just keeps going.
Oh,
So that's not good either because, yeah, that's a bummer. Okay, so the change I just made is not perfect because it really depends on what blew up. If the keyframe blew up, which is what blew up, then I want to sort of ignore it. if I can't talk to a llama, then I should be done, right? Which was the process keyframe files. Okay, so what we might need, error ffmpeg. Um, and do this. How can I do, I think they added support for this. That would be interesting.
Hmm.
Where I could add 2 errors to this, and then this would be interesting. And then I want to say um, that really, else in this case we return. I hate else.
I know.
So
Using an else is
I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do a return nil here, and I'm going to get rid of the else because that is never good. See, that's really what I want, right? Let me see if
error
that works.
fmpeg.
I should be able
Yeah.
to run this again, and those other ones should blow up. So yeah, then it stopped. So that worked, right? That wasn't in the database, but this time we didn't get one of these errors. Okay, so this was something new they added. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say it's brand new anymore, but a while ago. Where should I put this? Where you can have 2 errors embedded in the error itself, and then you can check it. That way I can still log what I want it to log,
Yeah.
Okay, now this blew up again. So it's just Olama isn't really good at running this stuff in parallel beyond the, so I'm gonna do this. Now, what that makes me think in terms of processing though, Kevin,
Hmm.
is maybe we just keep first and last and
Rather
skip the
than,
middle. Like in this case, having the middle works because we got
I think
really
it's going to
unique.
be very different though, depending on the chunk.
I know, I just feel like we're getting really good code though.
I mean, do you think we're getting enough where it'll sort of be
Yeah,
able
we
to
just
reason
need
about
enough
it?
context, right? To, I mean, we're still just trying to play this game. But if I just take 2 and we can run 2 in parallel at this point, then it's just faster, right?
Yeah.
That's weird too, because that doesn't feel that much different. Yeah.
In that case, yeah.
It's like, what's the code we started with? What's the code we ended with? There may be something in the middle, but
Yeah, I feel like
after
if it's something in the
67,
middle, it's probably because you're scrolling around.
yeah. And that
Um,
is 16. Um, I don't know what we kept for 16 when we got that far, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. We would have kept this. So I think for now, I'm going to do 2 and 2, okay? At least for this machine. And then I'm going to add a variable for how many videos we're going to keep. Process. Where's the code that? So we create the set of key files that we're going to process, right? That's that. And then it's get keyframe descriptions. And then here, right, here's the idea that we're going to try to do all three. So I have two choices here. I can get rid of, if there's three of them, which would be our max right now, I could get rid of the one in the middle, or I just do this, right, for now. Let's just do this for now. I just want to see this thing run, bro, without it sort of blowing up, right? And I'm going to do this, test 3. So we'll put in a new database. I'm going to do that. Okay, let's run this again. Start this again. But I really want to get to step 2. Like, that's super important. But let's see what happens here. And by using 640 now, using 60, I think using 6, ooh, that's
Oh,
not good, bro.
yeah.
That is not good. I did not expect that. That's 640. Okay, maybe what we need to do is, I don't even know how I did that. Maybe we need to figure out what a good resolution, like a reasonable resolution is. Oh wait, but that one worked. Like, I remember running monitors at resolutions at like basic
720.
sort of image sizes, right? I don't know, call them image sizes or resolutions. Yeah, but there was one that was like 640, I remember. Oh, like 640 by 480 maybe.
Yeah, like
So
I think 640 by 640 is making it a square, but it should be a rectangle.
yeah, so I'm
So it's
not doing
distorting
this
it.
right. Though my guess is it's keeping it at 640 by 360 anyway, right? Is the 640 this is what I hate. Is it height, width? No, it's got to be width, height. It's got to be width, height, right? Because the height is smaller, right? See, it's keeping it in the dimensions anyway. But this is now running. We're getting okay code. It's keeping the resolution anyway. See? But the height, the width, that should be okay. I'm gonna kill this for a second. Okay, let's look at 4. No. Ooh, now I went from 360 to 203, so I have that reversed, don't I? Okay,
Mm,
I had that reversed. 640 by 360. 640 by, I'm just curious, right?
yeah.
Now, let's see. Okay, height width, which I don't understand, but we haven't done these yet.
Length and width.
But that's fine. Which one are we working on now? 4.
That seems okay.
Yeah, it's going to extract the text from it. I think
I
it's
think
going to be
I think
fine.
it'll still be able to. Yeah.
And I don't think it's that large because 29, 41, like the other option too is to sort of go through it and find size it. But at that point, um, though it's funny that this one is still 44, right? Even at that smaller size. But God knows what it was when it was 1020 at that point. Okay, so this one again, we can't process for some reason.
5 and 6,
But at
and
least
then
I can do two in parallel, right? I can
yeah,
do two in parallel. So the end of the day, width and height. Oh, I did have it backwards anyway, didn't I? Width, height. Width, height minus one, height, width minus one.
yeah,
Oh,
okay, that makes sense.
yeah. But I think it would be good to do percent D 388. Um, no, that was 360, right?
260. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what comes first though? This is one. This will be the second one. At least, you know, put it in as parameters, right?
Yeah, that's something that we might have to.
Okay. So we now have some control over all that. This isn't blowing up anymore. We're getting some pretty good code. And it's now, let's see how long it's taking. So this is really good. I think we're finally in a place where we've got some data accuracy, we've got a tiny bit of performance. Remember, everybody, I'm running this locally on my machine. If I get souped up at some point, like I go buy a machine and we get souped up, it could be interesting, right?
Yeah. So you're saying
But
like get a
now,
machine just for running these models,
yeah,
doing this
but I
work.
would now say that the default is sort of this, right? Uh-oh.
Oh,
Fucking
uh-oh.
old llama, man, you're killing me. So the only thing I can think of now is, even though I love this model, I don't know, dude. Maybe it's just too big. I don't
Did it not
know.
do the same thing on the smaller model?
Yeah, but the smaller model was horrible. Remember, we weren't getting any
Yeah.
accuracy. So,
But it
so
still it did crash or it wasn't crashing?
I've never seen the crash until I was trying to do this stuff in parallel.
Hmm. Okay.
It's the only time it crashes, right? And so your last final option, if you can get it to run fast enough,
You just go one
is
by one.
you just go one by one. But problem is, I ran a lot of this that day in parallel using two. So
I thought you did too.
I did, and I don't think I needed to make this a three at all. But this is the problem, right? So that was 24 seconds, bro, which would be great if you can run them both in parallel. So, okay, we're gonna move on anyway. Okay, this is just gonna have to be what it is. I'm going to save this code. I think this is as good as that's going to be right now. But we do have an example 12 with a bunch of data in it, which is as reasonable as what we've got right now. So I'm going to stop this work on the show. And we've got this 45-minute video already sort of chunked out. So let me do the following. I want to save this work. The only other thing I can do is replace, at this point, see if I can find a model that's as accurate but smaller, right? I think that's it. But I'm going to save this work. Okay, just I think we've got our video processing. Okay, now let me bring up Mongo for a second. Let me run Mongo, make Mongo. And use, what was it, training 12? Oh, example 12. And then we had the training video. So you see how I've got, let me count documents here. What was it? I got 36 documents in here, one for every video that we did. And it's pretty fine. Like, it's for what I want to do right now. Like, this data's fine. That's why I haven't been messing with it. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So we've got this data in there. And remember, we had started working on step 2 already. And that number is wrong, isn't it?
10.
Oh, shit. That data was put in with 1024. We've got to fix that, but I can't fix it right now. Because
Yeah.
this should be 768. Because we're just adding a bunch of zeros to the vector at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I can't fix it right now because I stored the data using 1024, and that's what it's expecting. And it's not going to hurt us, but it's just sort of wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so we wrote this code. Let's run step 2 because it's been a while since we got a chance to sort of run it. Right? Hello, model. We had written some code that I want to abstract a little bit that would determine, right, if the question was relevant for us to go hit the database.
Yeah.
And then I could ask it, how does Bill write his authentication function? And now that set of concerns it. Perfect. We found all of this content. We also found this. Then it needed to answer it. And I don't really like the answer so much, but it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's better than what we've got today.
100%. Yeah.
Right. And can you just show me a complete version of the authentication function? Now this gets interesting because it's probably going to suggest, yeah, that it go back, right? And this is a case where you probably don't want to, holy shit, holy
Oh.
shit.
Oh.
That looks really good. Hold on. So we brought in, this one is silly, but we brought in a little bit more code. And this looks like my code pretty much, bro.
I mean, I think it added a couple things
It
like
did add a
comments,
couple
right?
things. Hold on,
Uh,
let's see. Let's see. This code that we're playing with is middleware. Yeah, it
there.
added some stuff, but um, actually, but remember my video's old. It doesn't really reflect this code here.
Hmm. Okay.
It would reflect, um, dude, are you banging or something?
No.
That's weird.
Oh, it might be this wire. One sec.
Okay. Service 6, right? App. Even the project's a little different. App. Oh, yeah, I used to call it API. Auth. No, not auth. Middleware. Yeah. Hmm. But I know that it pulled in this code here, right? So, like, based on the code that we did extract from this video,
Mm-hmm.
it looks pretty good, bro. I mean,
No, it
it's using the
does.
code. Let's just say that, right? It's using this code for sure. Though I would have thought this was the code that we used in that class. Oh, damn it. Sorry. This is the code, which isn't really 100% of what
Well,
I'm
we could
seeing
just look
there.
at we could just look at the image, right? Where it's pulling.
Yeah, I don't have that in the metadata, but you could. But you know what this just sort of made me think about?
Hmm.
For this particular video. So here's the problem, right? Like, if I want to tailor this to a very specific video, then we could start doing some other things. Like, I could have a tool call
Okay.
that basically looked at the repo. You know what I'm saying? And extracted code that way. But again, I can't do that because I want this to work for the Ultimate Go video as well. So I've got to leverage what's sort of in this video.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know why. Sorry, I keep doing that. I don't know why. I feel like what I just opened up, this code feels familiar to me. And I just feel like I can't see it, right? So now I'm wondering if the video that we took is even this one. It's interesting to me
Maybe try and
because
do a search for, yeah,
I don't know if I can search a repo like that though.
like go to file, maybe. There on the, would that work?
I don't think you can do that.
No.
And this code has changed a lot since then, right? So
Mm.
maybe I just pulled the wrong video down. I thought I pulled 6, but API layer. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, it's no big deal. Like, I'm not going to get sort of hung up on this, but this is for sure. Yeah. Okay, but that's fine. Like, this is working. Okay. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this is still 1,000 times better than what we've got. It's working. By choosing 2 videos, it's still really reasonable in terms of extracting. The only thing is that I hacked in there. Remember, I hacked we hacked this in. So this is the one thing I wanted to clean up at least back in our agent. I hacked in, oh, inject context. We did fix it already, didn't we?
There it is. Okay.
Uh, is question relevant? Right. Text search. So we did.
Yeah, there it is there. And then,
So I would love to get Sharon on again because I think I'd love to get Sharon on again
I can
because I
message him.
feel like, yeah, I feel like this is working, right? But I think there are times when we're asking a follow-up question and I don't want to hit the text embedding again, right? So does it matter just saying to the prompt, um, if the user is asking a follow-up question, consider it not relevant. Because this is really what I want, right? If the user is asking a follow-up question to a previous question, consider it not relevant. So that's what I want to try again. So here, see if he's around, because I need a data scientist for this part. Hello,
Yeah,
model.
I messaged him. So we'll see if he jumps in.
Not relevant, right? Um, what are the different roles that Bill used when implementing authentication? Whoa.
Mm,
This question asks about roles used in authentication in a general sense, not about,
not like not specifically stating Go.
okay, so you are a relevant filter for a Go API service development class. For Bill's Go service development class, determine if the following question with the current message history is relevant to learning how to write API services in the Go programming presented by Bill, right? Relevant topics include boom, 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 boom. Let's try that again. Now it's
There
relevant
we go.
because I added Bill to it, right? So it found some stuff here, right? Which was cool. And now this is where I don't want it to go back, right? What are the roles that Bill is? Oh yeah, but like, what are the roles that Bill is? Like, how do I make this look like a follow-up question? Oh.
Mm,
Can you show me again the roles that Bill is using? Because there's a level of,
not
see, that
relevant.
just worked, bro. See, that's awesome right there,
I need to
right? Because it knew enough based on the way the question was asked not to go hit the database and add more sort
Yeah.
of
Okay.
context to the thing. Like that's awesome. But, I'm wondering if, and this is working, right? Like this is pretty cool. There's a lot there. It's a big prompt, actually. Um, but I'm wondering if there's better techniques, like when we do an embedding similarity. One of the techniques to improve that is to have the vector database return you a lot more than just one or two. Maybe you have it bring back what it thinks is the top 10, and then you use
Oh.
another model called a re-ranker, which would take those
Oh.
10
Okay.
and try to rank them, right? Try to rank them for better relevance as opposed to um, some spatial awareness of something.
Got it. So you're basically you're sort of like filtering it twice in a way.
Yeah, you're getting a spatial relationship, and then you're getting a contextual, more of a contextual relationship, I would argue. So there are these re-ranker models that help you do that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
But in this case, like we don't need that, but there may be a better way to sort of do that. So we already cleaned this up, which was kind of cool. But how, like, these are the things that we're going to want to do now for all the video that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're basically down to either running this stuff on a bigger machine
Yeah.
or finding a smaller model that still gives us sort of the accuracy that we want for this particular process. So um,
Mm.
if Sharon didn't answer, then that is what it is. So let me do the following. You know, this isn't going to work anymore for me. Context. Whoa.
Context window represents someone.
Oh, yeah, that's how I did that
Oh.
here. That was like the default. I feel like I didn't do that there, but it didn't matter. What was I going to say? Oh, all right. So this is going to blow up now until we get this right, but that's fine. This won't work. See, now if I do this, this is all going to blow up because Mongo's going to say we're bigger. What roles does Bill use in the video for authentication? That should blow up. Oh no, it didn't blow up.
Oh.
Maybe because the index was already created.
Yeah. And then.
Okay. I just want to be able to save this without it completely being destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Makes sense.
so we've got those fixes. We have those fixes. I got that. Okay. So instead of boring everybody with any more work on the other thing, let me push this up. Okay, some final changes, for example, 12. I think at this point, there's a point of diminishing return on this. Now it's just a matter of tweaking the other side, but we have a proof of concept that we can take a video thanks to FFmpeg and get a transcription. We can use FFmpeg to find the keyframes and to filter out the unique ones. Now we're limited to how fast we can process those keyframes, so we're taking the first and the last, which again is fine. And we're showing now that we can have a proper chat system based on video because we can extract, in our case, that text in the source code. That's pretty badass, bro.
Yeah. No, I mean it's awesome. And I guess what's like a simple way to call this? Like, because it's not really, I mean, it's a transcription, but it's also like getting the
It is.
images.
It's an extraction, right? It's a full AI-based sort of extraction of video that
Yeah.
we then can build that better chat bot around.
It's
So I
almost like
reached
an.
out to the people at Lovable. What I'm
Okay.
hoping is I could get in touch with somebody. I'm going to have to reach out to a few more people because I'd love to get them online and make an example, a step 3, where maybe we
Okay.
use Lovable to access this database and do,
Just vibe code
you know,
like a
yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
something like
UI.
that. Or maybe have you do that on Tuesday since you're got a Lovable account now. Show me how that works. If I can't get somebody, then you're gonna have to do it on Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
No practicing, bro. We're just gonna jump in and get that experience.
That was one thing I was looking at, which they say it's coming soon, somewhat on their docs, but anyway, oops, let's move
I
us here.
stopped the screen sharing, but I should be here with you.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, was sort of a way to directly integrate sort of Lovable, like we do with Cursor, where you can work directly in the repo and sort of
Oh,
do that with Lovable.
like they have
Um,
an agent.
yeah, because to sort of like integrate it with your GitHub, but you have to create a new repo with it, like from the start, and sort of copy everything over. So the
Well, let's play with that on
yeah,
Tuesday. If I can get somebody from Lovable or a Lovable guru to jump on with us, I'll have that. But I think it would be fun to just spend a couple hours looking at that tool, especially if you can help somebody like me with front end stuff who hates front end but doesn't need anything fancy or usually like heavy production oriented shit.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
All right.
I think that would be
All
interesting.
right. So let's plan on that for Tuesday. And then I'm going to get in touch with Florin and we're going to try to just figure out the rest of this Olama crash slash sort of performance with the accuracy. But we're like this close, man. We're like this close. And if we can, maybe a smaller model lets us run. There is a 12B instead of the 27. I might go back and look at that and see if we're getting
Okay,
the same accuracy with the smaller size. So
it's sort of like an in
uh,
between from the
that's
4
kind
and
of
the
where we're at this point. Yeah. Especially if we're going to show this stuff in class, right? If my machine's crashing, God knows what the next machine is. So,
okay,
all right. So
yeah,
we're going to shut this down. We've got this for today, and I know we just did an hour, but that's fine. And then we'll do the lovable stuff on Tuesday because I'm really interested. And then we're going to figure out. We can go back to that list I had. Figure out what we're going to sort of build next. None of this can really. I don't see how we can incorporate any of this back into that sort of chat app that we did. We already had
mm,
the agent stuff working anyway, but we'll go back and we'll look at that list of stuff and figure it out for like either the Thursday show. Plus, I'm not sharing anything yet, right?
no,
Nobody can see my screen. All right. Um, when October hits, I'm basically not home anyway, so we're really
okay,
gonna pretty much end this show the way we've been doing it next week. I would say we've got two more shows right now, and
and
then we're kind of done.
I will be out next, not this Tuesday, not this Monday, Tuesday coming, but the next, the 29th and the 30th.
Yeah, dude, I'm living on the road, so I would say we've got two more shows, and then we're sort of done with this. But it's been fun, dude.
No, it has been. I've learned so much from it too. Like, there's been a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool problems that like you sort of don't really see too much of, like on the internet.
Yeah. All right, let's shut it down. We'll see everybody next week. Have a great weekend.